I've had a friendship breakup specifically within our friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was honestly like so awkward at every single event because
Yeah.
all of our friends like around us, like they didn't want to have to choose sides, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Oh, there she goes.
It was so funny. I was like catching up with a friend I hadn't seen in a month.
Oh.
Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like telling them, and I like say out loud, did I share this on a podcast? And I don't think I shared it on the podcast.
What?
That I won a giveaway. Did I share that on a podcast?
I don't think you did.
I really don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
But you guys, as you know, I love boxing and I'm trying to get back into it. And I won their giveaway. And this was like, what, a week after my birthday?
Yeah.
Right? It was like they knew it was my birthday.
No, truly,
Yeah.
you like tagged everyone. And like, mind you, like we all enter giveaways. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I am reposting the Venmo stuff and whatever. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. We'll see if I win a Tesla. But
Yeah.
like, you actually won.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, you guys, it was a $584 value.
Bruh.
Gloves, wraps, Murad skincare product with 5 free classes and a Lulu duffel bag. I want that.
Wait, also, if you guys have recommendations for a gym bag, please give them to me because I've been on the hunt for one and I need one with like extra, like the separate shoe compartment and like maybe like a
Ooh.
wet area because I like to go into the sauna. But like,
yeah.
I'm having a really tough time.
I am so just Asian. Wet area? You just bring a plastic bag with you all the time. What are you talking about?
Like the orange ones from Costco that you know, or like
No.
the white ones from Korean
like
market?
yeah, from like H Mart or like a Market World. Like you collect all of it.
Oh, that's
you know,
true. Maybe that's less gross, maybe less sustainable.
Like
but
you-
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
know.
it is
So
less sustainable.
yeah, but yeah. So I need a gym bag rack. So please go ahead because right now I'm using my like small ass, ghetto ass
tote bag?
Lululemon.
That's what I was gonna recommend. Maybe she used a big size
Dude,
then, not the small one,
Nothing
but the
fits.
big one.
Nothing fits.
The big one? Oh, in the locker?
in the
or?
small one. In the small one, nothing
yeah,
fits. I'm
absolutely
like,
not.
I'm like holding my
Dude,
shoes.
okay, this is embarrassing. Well, I take that. That's my gym bag too. Like the boxing place that I go to, and nothing fits. Like the
Right.
gloves, both the gloves don't fit. Like one has to be popping out. So I have the bag, but I'm holding everything.
I'm holding
in my
everything
hand.
anyways.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
what is the point?
Water bottle doesn't fit in there, and then if I put the wallet and keys in there, like when I'm at my car and the gloves are like there's like one glove on top, like,
Then you have to
I have
pull
to take it
everything
out
out.
anyways. It's just not good. Not no
truly,
bueno.
it's like so inefficient. And so yeah,
Yeah.
please go ahead and like give me those recs. But
All right, I'll
anyways,
be
you
on
were
the
saying.
lookout.
Yeah.
And then I went to, I think this is like a once in a lifetime experience, to be really honest.
Okay.
Like I can't say that I'll ever come across somebody who's experienced the same thing. Well, I went to something called a sketchy party.
What does that mean, dude? It's hella shady in there. She said,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it's not safe. There's some sus
Yeah, it's
activity."
not safe. It's not safe. Well, okay, it's just like, I just have to be honest. It was extremely cute, but maybe the most nerdy thing I've ever been to. Basically, it's like a med school party, and I mean, it's not like hosted by the school, but like somebody from the like class hosted it.
Right.
And basically, it's just this program that helps them memorize like content that they learn.
Right.
But by that, what I mean is like you have these words, and I'm probably totally butchering this, so don't come at me. But I think the word was triaxone or something like that. So I went as a firefighter who had an axe because he was like, I don't know. They were really smart. The cartoons are very well correlated to the actual word.
I see.
Right?
It's like back in the day when I don't remember what the cartoon was called, but it's like that skinny guy and the robot. Do you remember that? There's like a robot and it taught you science things. So it's kind of like that, right? Where it's like little cartoons that like
Yeah.
help you
I don't know what cartoon
memorize.
you're referring to, but kind of, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't even like hear everyone's like, oh my God, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't even be like, oh my God, you're dressed up as blah, blah, I don't even know.
You're not in med school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will say, I remember one. My boyfriend's friends, like a couple friend, came as paramycin. So it was a pair of mice. So they came in like mouse.
Oh, that's
like
hella
yeah,
cute.
mouse costume.
Oh, okay.
And so stuff like that, right? So it was just like it was a very, yeah, I just felt nice. Like it just felt nice going to a house party. And then it was like so fun that I have come out of it with, what do you call these?
Scabs?
Victory. I was gonna say victory scars, but
Scabs.
Yeah, victory scars. But scabs will do too. It was I was just like, I went overboard trying to show off my boxing skills. And I think it's called a fireman's hold.
Okay.
Like where you're on the fire, like, you know, men's like shoulder when they like come rescue you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
position.
Like your body is limp.
But we were just like so excited. I think my boyfriend's friend meant to like let me down, but it was more of like a throw me down.
He threw you onto the ground? He said, SmackDown!
I don't know why it's so funny though. Like it really didn't hurt. Like
But you have those victory
to
scabs.
be really honest, for like falling on the sidewalk, like you guys, it was like a cemented. Yeah. For falling down there, like I think this is extremely tiny. So
yeah,
can I just say
you should just tell people that you like skateboard, because I think that's like where all skateboarders get their scabs. You know why I know that?
Because you tried?
Because I love skateboarders. I am obsessed with Hesh boys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, on the other hand, me, not so much. So much.
Oh, that's so fun.
So yeah, that was my weekend.
Gosh. Okay, well, I hope that you guys will help me in this, just like you were dressed up as a fireman for your meningitis. I need to find a costume for a very early Halloween party.
Yeah.
And so
it's like coming up.
Okay, but here's my dilemma.
Okay.
The crowd is like people who go to church, right? So they're a little bit more conservative, but they like to go out, right? Like they still like to party. So it can't be too slutty, but it can't be too conservative. It also needs to be like witty enough.
Exactly, but it's like you, so it has to be funny.
Right, so it has to be funny. But the thing is, it can't be too niche, otherwise people won't understand it, right? Because I have a very niche sense of humor.
Yes.
And so, guys, I need help. I really need help. So far, my options are the Rock from Parasite, the 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다 doll.
I still think that's like the best option.
Right. But I'm really scared that someone's gonna like overlap and then I'm gonna be pissed off, you know? And so, if you guys have Halloween costume ideas, please go ahead and like slide into our DMs. I really need help.
Oh, yes.
And so, I've been freaking out about that, which is, you know, that's not the worst thing to freak out about. And then also my cousin, my aunt. Okay, so I don't really know. Like, she's technically my aunt, but I grew up with her, like, just coming over all the time. And our age gap is only like 6 years. And so I've always called her my cousin. And so now it's just confusing because I'm like, I don't want to call you my aunt. So we're just going to go with cousin aunt. My cousin aunt, Sujung, came from Berlin, and it's been like 7 years since I've seen her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's just
dude,
like,
and it was kind of bad. I was thinking about, all right, let's call her but like try to combine cousin and aunt, and what do you get? Yeah, so
yeah, so we're gonna stay away from that.
But
so it was really nice seeing her. And then like it's just like so nice to see her and my grandma interact as well, because I feel like their relationship was like so close back in the day. And like for some reason I was like, oh, like Sujung definitely doesn't remember any Korean. Like why would she remember Korean like living in Germany? But dude, her Korean was bomb. Like she was able to like actually talk to my grandma, and it was so sweet. And so I think we're gonna do a better job of keeping in touch, like actually, because my object permanence issue has just gotten out of hand. So I'm gonna try to fix that, you know, like actually keep in touch with people. But yeah, so that was kind of my week. It was super fun, super chill. But actually, this week we are going to cover friendship breakups, because a lot of you guys, when we asked, like a lot of you guys, when we asked what you guys want to hear us talk about, this is one of like the biggest ones. And so, yeah, I think that, to be quite honest, like friendship breakups suck. Like between Julie and I, we were counting counting how many we've had between the two of us, and it's about 10. We've had about 10 friendship breakups between the two of us, which God, is that a lot?
Okay. I think like it sounds like a lot, but I think we have so many friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you only had 10 friends and you had 10 friendship breakups, I think that's extremely problematic. But I think we have a lot of friends maybe not the ride or die level, but like the level right below. Like I think we have a lot of friends
Like
in that
close
like
friends,
that second level
Yes.
friend group. And so
It's just, like,
I'm not too
many.
concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned, but I don't know. I almost wonder like maybe our Kogis were curious about like friendship breakups because I mean, it happens, right? And I think like sometimes people don't know like what to do about it or they want it, but like they don't know how to
Like
go about it.
Yeah.
And so, just growing up, I feel like I always thought like once you make a friend, like that they're just your friend forever. Like I just thought like if you're my friend, like you're like we're gonna be friends forever, right?
Right.
But I remember my dad was just telling me like so nonchalantly, like I still remember how he felt when he told me this because it like angered me so much. Like he was like, oh, friends come and go. And to be honest, it was actually referred to our group of friends. Like he tried to comfort me by saying friends come and go. But I remember like these friends don't just come and go, like blah, blah. And I remember like going off. But then like truly just shortly thereafter, like I think I experienced my first friendship breakup.
Damn. Papa Jong.
Yeah.
It's like I told
was
you
like,
so.
yeah, it was like preparing me, you know?
Yeah.
And like now, obviously, I know like friendships are more than just, oh, like if I met you and we introduce ourselves and we follow each other on Instagram, like the friendships are more than that.
Yeah.
And I think social media has truly watered it down, but you know what I mean? Like the whole relationship aspect, the like genuineness of a friendship.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
But my first one was in high school. And it's just so crazy because I thought like these friends were going to be like my bridesmaids. You know? Like I think like we were butt buddies. Right? Like we were butt buddies.
Yeah. Like obsessed with each other.
Like if you didn't see the two together, it was like that was weird. Because we were like always,
Oh
two,
my gosh,
maybe
yeah.
3, maybe 4 of us together. And when I think about it now, like it's just so many things. Like friendship breakups, I don't think it's one leveled at all. Like I think if there's anything you can take away from our podcast, it's that everything is so multidimensional.
Yeah.
Like truly. Like whether it's like your relationship, your friends, or like your like, your self-love and like everything is so multidimensional. Like I think the events that led up to this friendship breakup, if like a couple things were different, it might have not ended the way it did.
Right.
But I think truly for this friendship breakup, it was like a collection of miscommunications and like the timing.
Oh, okay. What do you mean?
So basically, and this is what I remember, and I don't know if these friends listen to our podcasts, but if they did and they wanted to correct me, like I'm more than open to like hearing what's up.
Let's go powwow.
Yeah, no, I'd be more than excited. Like I ran into one kind of recently while we were out, and then I haven't seen the other in like a long time. But you know what's so funny? I haven't seen her in a long time, but I think I've seen her dad a couple times. Like literally one time on the street, like at a red light, like stopped next to each other, and I literally you guys, I'm driving, I look over and it's her dad, and I go, 안녕하세요. Through the window. Literally the windows are rolled up, you guys. Like it's not even down, and I don't know. He could have easily not remembered me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think I was just really busy, right? Like and going back to just the whole college episode too, remember how I didn't want to be a part of anything my freshman year because I was so involved in high school.
Yeah.
And so I was in Christian club, I was in math club, I was in, what was I in? Korean club, I was in ASB, and all these just like, honestly, like random clubs.
Right.
So, right, like you have to be active, so you have to go to all these meetings, and so that alone, that's already like 3 days of the 5 days of school.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I just remember being extremely busy, and I think this was when I think this was sophomore year. I think because why do I remember like relating it to the canned food drive, and when I had to run the canned food drive near like November, like during Thanksgiving time, and I was extremely busy, and so I couldn't join them for lunch. But I think I came off like passive.
Oh, interesting.
Like maybe they mistook it as like me being upset with them, and that's why I wasn't eating lunch with them. But like that truly wasn't the case. I was just like so occupied with other things.
Right.
And so I remember we actually talked it out.
Okay.
But like I just mentioned, it was during Thanksgiving, and so it was awkward because we talked it out, And then we didn't have a chance to actually like eat together again because then we were on break for Thanksgiving. And you guys know like Thanksgiving, winter break, they're extremely close. So it was like Thanksgiving break, we come back, I'm still busy.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what happened, but then it was winter break.
Right.
So then it was just like I remember making up, but I truly don't remember what happened.
Yeah, because in that case, like especially in high school and middle school, like timing is crucial because like you don't really have like when you're that young, a lot of times people don't really have like a way to get around either to like hang out during Thanksgiving or during Christmas break.
And you know, I didn't have a car.
Right. And like it's like, Mom, can you take me to the mall? Like, you know,
yeah. And so from that, like, it's so funny because I mean, I think with this friendship breakup, it's been so long that like I've, you know, recovered, like healed, like thought about it for a while now. But I think I did hold on to the fact. So there was like 4 of us, right? Like I think the group of friends, like we were solidly like the 4. And it was like I felt like this happened more so with one friend, but the other 2 friends were automatically like on her side. So it's like so interesting because I don't remember anything really happening with the other 2 friends.
Right.
But just by
like association.
Yeah, just by like, association.
Right.
I just like at once like lost 3 friends.
So ako.
Yeah,
like
and
like you look back and you're like, oh dang.
Yeah.
Like I could have.
Yeah. Well, and it's so funny because I think for the longest time I focused on the fact that like those 2 friends never reached out to me and that like this happened to us and that I put the blame on them.
Right.
But then I just stopped thinking that way because like I could have easily been the one to reach out to.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so for that reason, and I didn't do that, like I didn't reach out. So for that reason, I think it was just like easier for me to let go. But you also know I'm like a strong believer of like, you know, shit happens for a reason. Like truly everything that happens, like it is akawa, like you said, like I wish it didn't. And sometimes I wonder like, oh, if it didn't, like how would it have turned out?
Right.
I truly wonder, but it must have happened for the bigger, better reason.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, and I like in terms of like miscommunication and misunderstanding, like a lot of times like that's what happens in friendships and like maybe why like you guys are having a breakup, but like you just have to kind of like accept at the end of the day that like, hey, it already happened. And like I think for me, like one of my like early friendship breakups was also sophomore year because I remember, or maybe it was like more towards junior year because sophomore year, I was the first one out of all of my friends to start driving.
Yes.
Because my birthday is in January, so it's always been really early.
I think I was like last.
No, you were definitely like
I was
last.
last because I started driving February of senior year.
Oh, no. Yeah. I was driving like January of sophomore year. That is crazy. Yeah. And so I just automatically became the DD to everyone, right? And so I'm driving everyone around all the time, and I think like dude, I was growing so angry because it would be like people would hit me up when they just like wanted to go to LA, like when they wanted to go to Melrose Trading Post, like when they wanted to go to Earth Cafe,
which I've still never been, which I think is so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So you'll have to take me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a tour, but like I just like started growing angry because I just felt like used, and so I feel like there was a lot of like misunderstanding and miscommunication because, to be quite honest, I couldn't communicate how I was feeling. Like I don't think that I was like bold enough to like confront people in that way.
So like it was bothering you.
But I didn't see anything. Like I thought that the easier solution was just to like
suck it up
and like honestly kind of drift from them. And so I think it was kind of sad because like I hadn't gone through a friendship breakup like that big in a really long time. And so no, it was like kind of rough, especially when in high school you think that your friend group is like solid, like you think your high school like friend group is like solidified, and you're like, oh, you know what, like these are my bridesmaids, but like you don't know, like shit may go down. And like I feel like even like looking back on it now, I feel a little petty for being like, what the heck, like I'm not gonna be friends with you because you make me drive all the time.
I think that's extremely sticky because it's you drive or we don't do the activity.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But it's like, it's also like, then you're driving all the time. So
yeah, but the thing is like, it's not like they didn't have their licenses.
Oh?
like literally.
Oh, so like not like a me, like because I
It's not
fully
like
didn't
no,
have.
no, their birthdays are in
Oh.
December, and so like I just
Wait, they're older than you?
yeah, they're older than me, so they had their licenses, but a lot of times they just like didn't want to drive.
Okay, wait, then that's a different
So that's a
story. Wait, that's a
completely
different
different
story. Wait,
story.
that's so different.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, that's like completely different.
Maybe I need to
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you say anything?
Wait, no, I don't know.
Because they weren't driving as cool of a car as you were.
No, that literally was not it. It's just like they didn't want to drive. And so yeah, no, I think that like a lot of like friendship breakups can stem from like miscommunication. And it's just like, oh, it's so akawo, because
Yeah.
I'm like, had I been able to communicate like my needs
Yeah.
back in the day, or even been like more cognizant of like what was going on,
Yeah.
we could probably still be friends.
Because I'm sure if something like that happened to you now, right? Like I think you would vocalize like, hey, I feel like
I'm driving
like you guys
a
are
lot.
taking, not even that, but like I feel like you guys are like the whole point is like you feel like you're being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like I feel like knowing you now, like I feel like you would speak up about it.
yeah.
Had you had said that then, I mean, what are they going to say to that? No, we're not. Like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, you know what I mean? They're not going to be like, no, we're not. Like, they're not going to be defensive about it.
Right. Like,
So-
if anything, they would probably have offered to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
And in that's what I mean by miscommunication and time. And maybe it's the timing aspect.
Yeah.
The timing aspect.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think like my next one was like maybe like freshman year of college, but it was with more friends from high school. Right?
Oh.
Like we're all coming back home like during Thanksgiving breaks, winter breaks, summer vacation. And this too, like truly you guys, I feel like my earlier friendship breakups were truly just miscommunications, and like the timing was like
yeah.
rough. Like the timing was just like not on my side because, and this is also what I think. And I think the fact that I don't concretely even know why the friendship breakup happened, it truly is like the timing and the miscommunication.
Yeah.
And I think that's the akawa and the sad part.
Yeah.
So here we go. I think I came home. I was supposed to hang out with a friend and I like canceled on her. But then I really think it was our girlfriends. Probably like we posted on our Instagram story and I was hanging out with you guys instead.
Oh.
And I think she was really upset by that. And so what ended up happening was like every time we'd come back home, it was like, oh, like, or no, when we went back to school and we were going to school on like opposite coasts, like, oh, when we're back home, like, let's hang out. And it became one of those things where we just like said, oh yeah, when we see each other, let's hang out. Or like when we're back in town, let's hang out. And then it just never happened. And then it just became awkward. And you know, when you're so like awkward, it's uncomfortable. And then you like just stray away more.
Right.
It was so weird. Like, so I saw these friends that I had this like breakup with kind of recently, like we happened to be in the same setting. And you know what's so crazy? I couldn't even remember their voices. And so when I was like, I was listening to them talk and I was like, is that how she sounded like? Like I couldn't even remember.
Oh shoot.
And so I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
And actually these friends, truly akawa. And I think I realize it's akawa because sometimes I find myself being curious about what they're up to, right? But it's almost too late. I really feel like it's like, I also timing wise, I lost the time, the appropriate, you know, the right time to like make amends or to
Right.
talk about it.
Right.
It's like
right.
too awkward
like
to talk about it
you
now.
literally don't remember their voices.
Dude, this literally happened like 5-6 years ago. So I like, hey, like, sorry about what happened 5-6 years ago.
I've
so
been
it's like
thinking
kind
about
of
it.
too late. Yeah. And so what would happen is like, I would look them up on Instagram and I would see like all of them are still hanging out. And like we said, kind of in the beginning, like when quarantine started to loosen up a bit, like you would get FOMO from like not being invited to things that you probably wouldn't even have been invited to in the first place.
Right. It's like I'm
Like, it's
not
kinda
even close
like
to
that.
you.
Like I see them all going to these places and I'm getting FOMO, but I'm like, why the fuck am I feeling FOMO?
Right.
And I think it's because like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. For you, like when you felt that way, was it because like you could totally imagine yourself there?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were close to somebody in that group, like you would have been there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like
So I
this is
think-
my scene.
Yeah. So like I think that's why. And it honestly got so I would consider toxic.
Right.
I think like that's the crazy part. I feel like back in the day, like, okay, let's say like maybe 2 decades ago, or like if you cut off a friend, there's like no way to really like stay in touch with them because there was no Instagram. Or maybe was there an Instagram 2 decades ago? I don't think so. 20 years ago?
I don't think so.
I don't think there was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you cut them off, like you just like had no idea what they were up to, right?
Yeah.
But like now, even if you cut off a friend, like your Instagram friends, your Facebook friends, you like your Twitter and all that stuff.
Right.
So even if you don't follow them on Instagram, you for sure know people who are close to them. So you end up seeing them like indirectly through these people's stories.
Yeah.
So
like you can't avoid like their tagged shit.
Yeah.
Like everyone's friends with everyone at this point, and so
exactly. So I don't know. I just kind of found myself like I would forget about them, and then if I would see them in someone's story, it would like remind me again that this person exists, and then I would like fall through this like hole of like just checking their profile all the time,
right?
And seeing what they're up to and all that stuff. So then I had to mute their profiles. Yeah, like mute their stories and
no, I definitely have those types of like friend groups where like I'll stalk every single person in the friend group, where I'm like, oh damn, I used to be close to you, I used to be close to you, I wonder how you're doing, I hope you're doing well, I kind of miss this friendship. And so like I can completely relate, because I think that like kind of like a breakup, like I understand why someone will like unfollow or block like people who are friends with this person, right, rather than just the ex, because it's like kind of painful to see, you know, like even them like just hanging out in like a casual setting, because it's like oh, like what could have been. And so like me too, like I've had to like honestly stop watching Instagram stories. Like right now I go on my own like personal Instagram like once in a while, just to be like, okay, like let's see if anyone's in these DMs. No one. There's nobody in the DMs. But literally like I had to get off of it. Like I was growing such an unhealthy relationship with like stories and all of that. So like catch me not on Snapchat, catch me not watching Instagram stories.
And that's so good for you, because I don't know, I feel like because I went to Syracuse, I mean the Korean population isn't huge there,
right?
And am I psychotic? I don't know, maybe I'm psychotic. So I didn't have like the greatest Korean community church experience there. And I had noticed, and like this is also because I'm just kind of psychotic. So I was on Instagram, and I mean, just so crazy. Like I didn't know these people like before college, but knowing them after college, I was like meeting people who knew them, who asked me if I knew them. And so then I would check their profile and they weren't following me anymore. Right. But like, who cares? Like whatever. I don't care. But for you, like going, like if you go to a UC or like USC and you're in California and you're part of KCM, or just like even if you are not a part of KCM and you're Korean, I feel like, how do you escape from that?
You can't, dude. It just like keeps getting worse every single year.
I swear, like, right, like siblings, number one, but number two, like you either went to the same high school or middle school and elementary school, or even like the church, or I know your pastor because he was a guest pastor at my church
during this one retreat.
Exactly. How do you escape that?
No,
like
you really can't, because I think that like even me, like don't get me wrong, like I really, really love and appreciate the Korean like Christian community. Like I think it's really good once you like find your footing within it. But I think that like it becomes such a bubble, which is why like people say to avoid like the KCM bubble where you get stuck, right? And all of your friends are in KCM. And so like I think like I tried to escape from that, and I found myself like church hopping in order to like kind of fill the void that like KCM had brought or whatever. And so I've gone through like my fair share of like churches in LA, Korean ones specifically. And so
I really feel like I feel like you
and so like truly it'll be like, oh, I know this person from this church, I know this person from this church, and then I'll go out and be like, oh, you know so and so. Like there is literally no escaping it. If anything, it's just like my world feels like it's like converging on itself, you know, like just folding in, because I'm like, oh wow, I'm very glad that like, oh, at least like I don't think that a lot of people hate me, because like then that shit would spread like wildfire, like actual wildfire.
That's so
And
crazy.
Yeah, I think even like that relates to like my fear of dating within our community.
Yeah.
It's because I'm like, oh, everyone is up in everyone's business. But
Yeah.
that's a separate story.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, there is way too much overlap. And then not to mention now that like I'm meeting a lot of your East Coast friends.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
nice.
It's just coast to coast. It's just
my God.
all over the entire country.
No, it's crazy. Like, you guys, our guy friends met some female friends.
Yep.
And then we met those female friends, but like, you know, one of them specifically like knew my boyfriend's friend's boyfriend. Okay, I know like it's so
I'm
confusing.
just gonna stay confused.
And then like was asking me and my and D Jung, because we went to college together, like, oh, do you guys know so and so, like, because they're from the same state.
So
and like
crazy.
she's like from the East Coast, and like, you guys, I think when I think about that, it checks myself and reminds myself that I need to be nice to everybody.
Right.
Because really everyone knows everybody.
Yeah. And so I guess in terms of like friendship breakups too, I think it can be hard because I've had a friendship breakup specifically within our friend group.
Yeah.
And because like we're all friends with each other, like it was honestly like so awkward at every single event because
Yeah.
all of our friends like around us, like they didn't want to have to choose sides, you
Yeah.
know? Because I think that's another thing that comes with friendship breakups
Yeah.
is like this feeling of like, oh, you did so and so wrong. So like I'm loyal. So I'm going to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it just gets so sticky when you need to be loyal to both parties, but we're in the same friend group.
Yeah.
And so actually specifically with this friend, like to be quite honest, at the very beginning of our friendship breakup, I was like done with her. Like I was like, I don't want to be in your presence. Like I
Yeah.
literally don't want to hear your name. Like nobody talk about her around me. But then
Yeah.
eventually like it just got so awkward to the point where I was like, oh, I guess we're just gonna have to be cordial with each other.
Yeah.
And then eventually I literally forgot why we like had our breakup in the first
Yeah.
place, and we've since made up.
Yeah.
And so I think like there's just like a myriad, like just so many different situations that
Yeah.
can happen. And so whether you choose to continue the friendship or not, like
Yeah.
you truly like just
That actually reminds me of something. So, okay, like, well, I think two things, and I hope I don't forget it. Going back to like me having been in that same location with the people, the people I had a friendship breakup with, like when I thought about it after the fact, it made me extremely upset that I felt that uncomfortable with them. Like, because the location we were at, like you guys were all there, like we're trying to have fun. But I think it really upset me that I let them make me uncomfortable. Or like we said, like your reaction is like you're in control of that.
right.
So I could have chosen to, I don't know, maybe go up and talk to them, or just like block it out and just
Have a
enjoy
good
myself.
time,
But
right.
I let myself be bothered. And I feel like that's what you kind of mean, right? Like in the beginning, like it was uncomfortable, and I'm sure you didn't want to come to the events that our group of friends were having because you knew it was going to be awkward and uncomfortable.
Yep.
So second thought is, you guys, but there is hope, right? Like people can have friendship breakups and can completely like reconcile. And I think especially with our group of friends, I think one of our other friends also felt the same way as you did.
Yeah.
With maybe some of our other friends, like I'm not going to talk to them again, blah blah blah. But look at us now, like all 9 of us, we're still very good friends.
Yep.
And I almost think like, now that I think about it, because you had mentioned your first like friendship breakup also happened like sophomore year, junior year. I almost wonder if it's just like the phase of like puberty,
Honestly,
you know,
probably.
which is also the actual part, you know?
Yeah, no, it really is. Especially when like, dude, okay, have you had a friendship breakup where like it's because of a boy?
Oh, because of a boy?
Yeah, whether that be like direct or indirect, like whether that be like you guys were both crushing on the same guy, or
I think kind of.
Yeah?
I think I've never ever admitted it. I've never, you guys, this is like
this is fresh
yeah,
content.
this is super fresh. I've never admitted it, but I think I try to not admit it, but when I think about why maybe the friendship breakup was easier, was maybe like I just went along with it, was because like deep down inside, like that was like the initial like the first like red flag for me.
Oh.
And I try to brush it off.
Right.
And then it happened, I think, kind of again. Right? They ended up not dating, but it was like, I think like I kind of had a crush on this guy, but I felt like the guy was flirting with the friend.
Oh.
And so, yeah. But I don't know. Why do you ask? Because
well, no, because, okay, like, you guys know I didn't really like date in high school, but there was definitely one guy who like I was like fat crushing on, and I swear to you, I'm not making this up. Like, I know that there was something between us. Like, I know that it wasn't unrequited. Dude, it was not unrequited at all. Like, it was very mutual interest, but like one of my friends just kept making fun of me, like being like, oh, you like someone, like you like him, huh? Like, oh, are you guys like, oh, like what's going on? Like, there was constant like instigating and just like making me feel uncomfortable to the point where I was like, no, I don't like him. And so I literally convinced myself that I didn't like him, and like we never dated. And then he's like gone on to do like so well, and and like I think that's a big reason why I was so angry with her. Like, I was like, like, I cannot believe you were the cause of me, like, not being in a relationship with this guy that I really liked. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah. Isn't that so weird? It's so weird. Like,
you're
how
so
my
rebellious.
It's so weird how my brain works.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah, I know. Like, you would think that I would just like go for it, but like, no, I just get embarrassed.
Yeah,
like it's so embarrassing to like someone. Ew.
No, I feel like I was. What was I like?
Dude, you're a go-getter.
Dude, I feel like I would always tell my friends like, oh, I think he's really cute. I would never act upon it. I would just be like, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute.
Oh gosh, no, I wouldn't even like go as far to admit it. Like, I know.
Oh my gosh.
No, I know. So crazy. But I think that like in a lot of ways, when I reflect upon my past friendships, I think that like it was just, I can name literally 5 instances off the bat. It was my lack of boundaries. And so like, yeah, you can be like done wrong by like one of your friends. Like, maybe they go for the guy that you know, the guy that you guys, yeah.
Okay, to be more specific, I think this was in middle school. This was in middle school. And I think like people told me this guy liked me, and I think I shared the story. Like, and then how are you gonna know? Okay, like let's say you were my best friend, or you were my friend, and the guy likes me. How is the guy gonna know what I like? They got to get information from the friend. And I think through that process, he started liking her.
No, dude, that's snake. No. Yeah.
I wonder if these people know like who they are.
Oh, spicy. I think you need to add more information, more details. Well, anyways.
Yeah, anyways. But yeah.
Leave it up to mystery. But yeah, no, I think I lacked so many boundaries. And so like, yeah, you could have been done wrong by these people, but at the same time, you have to kind of like reflect upon yourself and like look internally. Like, is there something that you could have improved on, something that you messed up on? Because I think for me, I think I would let people just like kind of take advantage of me, and I would never say anything. And then eventually like resentment started to grow, and then it would just get so big to the point where like I couldn't handle it anymore. Yeah. And like I didn't know what the solution was except for to just like cut them off. Like I just got so angry and I was like, fuck, we're done. And so like literally that has happened in so many of my friendships where like I literally implode. Like I just implode and then I'm like, okay, it's done, and it's just cold turkey. Okay, we're done. Yeah. With like almost no explanation. And so I think like reflecting, I'm like, damn, I was immature.
Would you consider yourself, okay, not now, but like maybe high school, even like early college, consider yourself a pushover?
Shit.
Have you ever thought about it? I don't know. Like, have you?
I've actually really never thought about it. Maybe I wouldn't use the word pushover, but I would probably say maybe people pleasing. Like it was like so close to being a pushover.
Yeah. Like if you couldn't like do something with them, or if they asked you for something and you couldn't like do it for them, you would feel guilty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do not have that. That was definitely not me.
Wait, really?
Lack of boundaries, eh?
Oh God, she's
Sorry, eh?
She's big. What's in my bag?
It's big.
Oopsie. Big. She's really turning Canadian. Oh gosh.
And while you were talking, I was truly thinking about why. Because I mean, I definitely think there was a phase, even with our group of friends, like it was always so hard to hang out with our group of friends for me, right? And it's because like my mom, like she was never really tiger mom, but like kind of sort of in this aspect. Like remember I would always have you guys call her when I wanted to sleep over. Like you guys, it was never me asking my mom. It was truly like, all right, who wants to talk to my mom today?
Yeah.
It was truly like, everyone took turns.
Yeah.
Because she can't say no. She couldn't say no to my friends. So because that was like growing up, it was like that. I think, to be really honest, because I was absent so often, right? Like maybe like every 5 times our group of friends hung out, I would like come like once, right?
Right.
And I think like I got this like not adrenaline, but like this attention because you guys saw each other 5 times, but because I would come once, I was like, oh my God, Julie, what have you been up to?
So rare.
So when I would come, it was like kind of talking about me and blah, blah, blah. And then I would be updated with everything that went on about like how so-and-so like had a fight and so-and-so are like not on talking terms right now, or so-and-so is like pissed at somebody. And then I was just like, oh my God, this is what happens when you hang out too much with your friends. And from like middle school, that's what I had thought. So I was like, okay, like, let's make sure I never get to that point where like my friends and I are just like so comfortable we take advantage of each other. You know what I mean? Like when you get to that comfortable stage, sometimes there can be like a lack of considerism, like the longer you're friends for.
Yeah.
And so in terms of boundaries, I felt like I always had a really good, like if either I wasn't feeling good or I guess it was kind of calculated growing up for me, right? Like, okay, let's not like make myself so available because that's when like
drama.
More mistakes can happen where you can get more pissed with your friends or they can hurt you more. Or maybe it was like my way of, like it was like avoiding almost.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Because I think that like now that we're a bit older, I'm more cognizant of obviously like where I'm spending my time. And so I'm realizing that like maybe some friends, like in order to prevent a friendship breakup, I need to like keep my distance. Like I definitely have friends where like I'll tell my really, really close friends like, oh, this is like a small doses friend. Like I can only tolerate them in small doses. Which isn't like meant to be offensive at all. It's just like a fact of like, hey, if I hang out with you too much, I will probably grow to hate you. And so, so maybe it's bad that I'm like even hanging out with them in the first place, because a lot of times it's just out of like obligation that I'm hanging out with
which
people.
like I feel like I've never really understood that because I know you're like that. I just never understood it. I just like, what do you gain? What do you gain from it?
No, it's literally just me feeling bad for them the entire time. I literally do it out of guilt. And I think that stems from like my like, upbringing of like, you need to be selfless, like, do things for other people. But like, it's like almost to my detriment. So definitely something I'm working on. But I'm like slowly trying to like create boundaries with people and be like, like in my head, like be like, okay, I can only see you, like I can only tolerate maybe once a month, every couple months.
I think it's gotten worse, like extremely bad in terms of like, okay, if I feel like I've just wasted an immense amount of time, like it'll make me so flustered. Like truly my response to me feeling flustered has gotten like really bad. like hot flash AF.
Oh my gosh.
Like hot flash AF. And like my body is just so reactive to these things. I think I'm aging. Oh my God. I'm just officially just old.
Yeah, she's old.
And so like if I'm like, okay, this sounds so bad. Like, no, I want to hang out with like those types of friends, like just so I know what's up, like just so they know I'm there for them. But it is extremely hard to stay present when you're being talked to, as opposed to like it being a conversation. So then the time feels like you just think you get back in your car and you're like, what just kind of happened? And you're like,
it was that friend just like spilling their entire like, dude, it's literally just them complaining the entire time. And I was like, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah. And you know me, I feel like when people complain or like open up, I'm very like awkward with that stuff because I just like want to tell them the answer, like it's going to be all right,
like but, you're like, stop
like,
it.
Like, it's fine. Like just be better. Be Julie. I'm joking. But I also want to point out, like, I don't know, with all that being said, like me not feeling like obligated and all that, I think it's because I think you are the first one to point it out that like you slowly meeting all my like East Coast friends and just maybe friends I've met elsewhere. Like you were saying how all my friends are kind of similar to me.
They are.
Like we're the same energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think like another big difference between you and me is like you truly have different friends where you get to express your different interests to those friend groups. But for me, you guys, like I feel like my close friends, just everyone's just a ball of energy.
Yeah.
We're the same vibe.
No,
like the same
I
vibe.
completely agree. Like I just like imagine is it the electrons, the atoms like hitting each other like and turning into a different state?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yes.
It's like that with your friends, whereas like my friends, it's very much
like
every
water and oil.
Yeah, or like every single organ has its specific function.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
We should just be a science podcast. I really think so.
No, but like everyone has like a specific function. Like everyone is like so niche in their own unique way. And so I think that's maybe why like I have a tough time mixing friends, but maybe that's a factor
I love that.
like
yeah.
me not doing the best job of like deciding where to spend my time. Like though I'm trying to be like selfish with it, if I'm too selfish with it, I feel bad. I feel so bad.
Yeah, you see, so with my friends, I feel like if you're my friend, you know, you're updated about all the aspects of my life.
Oh, I see.
Like work, like my relationship, my family, like what I want to become. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm not just sharing, like, we're not just talking about work. Like, if you are a work friend that I've made and we are now friends outside of work, like, you know about everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely keep them compartmentalized. Whoa.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. We're different in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like definitely have like one friend where like I need to like and I've told you about this. Like I need to start like keeping my distance because like I notice that when I'm with him, it's like jealousy starts to develop. Like I don't like the way that he's speaking about other people. Like I just feel like he's gotten a big head, to be quite honest.
But it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Like before he was so like genuine and nice.
Yeah.
But like somewhere along the way I think he had like a glow up and all of a sudden like thinks he's the shit. Like literally is so cocky to the point where I'm like, I can't freaking hang out with you. Like I don't like who I am when I'm with you.
Yeah.
And so I've like realized that and I'm like, okay, distance like distance hopefully will like make the heart grow fonder. And like I hope that like you fucking get a therapist or some shit so that you can like bring yourself back down to earth and like shrink that big head of yours. But like the head is gonna start like tipping him over. I'm like, it's too heavy, it's too large. But like for real, like I'm just like, in order to prevent this friendship breakup, I think I need to keep my distance, but I'm like curious, like how would you go about this situation? Like, do you think that you just pull away and like hopefully they would get the point? Or are you more upfront about it? Are you going to be like, hey, I don't think I can like keep up this relationship for the time being, or whatever you say?
That's a great question. Well, I've never had to. And I think, I don't know. I don't like the answer, quite frankly, is I don't know, because I've never had to do that. But I have come across people like that where I know like, oh God, like I want to be their friend, but if we continue to hang out, we may no longer be friends. So I think I approached it more passively. But on their end, they never questioned my actions either. So I think they kind of either got the clue, or they just lacked the nunchi, which I mean works
both ways.
Yeah, both ways for me. So going back to like, right, like if they're a ride or die, I think I would feel comfortable, but I could never see any of my like ride or dies like getting such a big head like that. And like me, like literally, like clearly seeing this drastic change of them becoming that way. But I think friends like that, if they're not in your ride or die, it's just so hard to approach. And so, okay, going back to what you had said about like creating that distance, hopefully making the heart grow fonder. But like sometimes you create that distance and then you forget about them. So then then isn't that the answer? Like, oh, I'm totally fine without them being my friend. You know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, maybe once in a while, like you'll maybe catch a meal or whatever, but it's like, I think that is the answer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so simple. I
Yeah.
love that. I love complicating things in my head,
Yeah.
and so I always just freak out afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll like be like, I need distance. Like I'm going
Yeah.
crazy, and then I'll make the distance, and then I'll start to feel bad. It's a lot of me feeling bad. Oh gosh.
Well, I think I can maybe understand a little bit where you know you might feel bad, because I've also thought, right, immature Julie was like, why don't they ever hit me up? Why don't they ever blah blah blah? And then, you know, as I did, you know, I feel like I grew a bit, right, the past couple of years. I started realizing, well, you know what? Why should it always be them trying to maintain the friendship? Like,
Right.
like I should try too.
Right.
But then I don't know. I feel like, right, like effort is effort. So you put in the effort, and then if it still doesn't work, I feel like also then you have your answer as well.
Whoa.
Because I've definitely had I wouldn't consider this a friendship breakup, but I think I've been hurt. And, you know, I don't know, maybe this is karma. Like, remember how I just mentioned for one of the friendship breakups, like I had canceled on a friend, and then, you know, right, like she saw me like hanging out with other friends, because that's essentially what happened.
Right.
And that happened to me, where I hit up the friend, and she was just always like, I'm so busy, like maybe next week. Or she was just like, I'll let you know. And you guys, I didn't take our own advice, right? And she was like, I'll let you know. And I see like social media once again, right? Like if there was no social media, I would not have known she was hanging out with all these other friends literally every single day.
Oh shoot.
But I did. And so it made me like
you can't even like give up an hour for me. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's tough too, because I think like we're never really taught how to like navigate like relationships nor friendships in our lives, and it's just like a learning process all along the way. So
and maybe think about it, because like I said, I just thought literally until my first friendship breakup in the 9th grade, like, and this is, you guys, like I'm just talking like natural friendship breakups. Obviously break up with a friend if like they like, you know, like if you're if they like cheat, like if your boyfriend cheated on you, like, you know, with this, you know what I mean? Like we're not talking about these like crazy like scenarios, just like kind of more natural friendship breakups.
Right. So like kind of like outgrowing friends maybe.
Yeah. Like it happens naturally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I have friends who feel like they've outgrown me too.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know, but at least for me, right? Like, yeah, like maybe it roots to like me loving myself more, to be really honest.
Oh, what do you mean by
like going
that?
back to like if we were hanging out and I can't relate to anything you're saying, because quite frankly we might be worried about, I think that's like when I first realized is like we're worrying about different things.
Yeah.
And so while I'm so willing to hear you out,
Right.
it can be like, I would hate to come off like I'm better, or that I can't help you.
Oh, interesting.
Or that
Yeah.
like I don't understand, that I cannot empathize.
Right.
And I think naturally in that way, outgrowing friends can also cause friendship breakups.
Yeah. No, actually there was a time during quarantine where I think like I was having like a conversation with a couple friends, and I was like, damn, like I literally can't relate to any of your struggles. Like I feel like we're in like different life stages, because I think that it oftentimes happens when like people start getting married, people start having kids, like you just like naturally like you can't relate to anything that they're talking about. So it's kind of sad, but it's just like a fact of life. Like you guys are moving at such different speeds, so like maybe you guys won't be friends for like the time being, but like maybe you can come back to that when you guys are in the same life stage, or you're able to like refine like something that you guys actually like connect on.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I also had a friendship breakup once, but we were only broken up for like a semester in college. And then we like made up, and I can't remember how we made up, but I think like you just said, like we were able to like redefine like what we meant to each other and how we worked.
Right.
Also going back to just like our group of friends, like how you had a stage with one of our friends that you were like, I like don't need her in my life. I for sure know another friend in our group was like, I'm not gonna be friends with this person and this person and this person in our group of friends, but look, we're all friends. So I think like it's so context dependent.
Yep.
Ultimately, like, yeah, I might have a glimpse of like, this is so ashiwo akawa feeling, but ultimately, like, I'm so fine without them being like a friend in my life.
Yeah.
And so
I think in general, like, dude, friendship breakups suck. Sometimes friendships like run their course.
Yeah.
Like your dad said, friends
Yeah.
come and go. So I think it's just like, I think the best way to deal with a friendship breakup is like accepting it and like
Yeah.
taking it as it is.
Yeah. And that's why, like, a couple years back too, like, for me, I started to focus on like, how can I strengthen the friends that are in my life as opposed to making new friends.
Oh,
Right? Like, why worry about those people who aren't your friends? You know what I mean? Like, why are you spending so much time like stalking these people that are not important in your life?
Yep.
I should shift that focus and the time that I'm allocating to them, to the friends who actually show me love and care. You know, maybe I could show them an ounce more.
Right. Yeah. But if you guys are going through a friendship breakup, like, I hope you guys know that like there are other people out there that you can befriend, and like, you know, it's not bad to like reminisce on like, you know, all the things that you did have with this like particular person or persons. But I think in general, knowing that like everything happens for a reason, I would hope that would bring you some like sense of solitude.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Kiwi. Okay, well, check us out on TikTok and Instagram at bulgogi.podcast, on Twitter at bulgogipodcast. We are also on the YouTubes at bulgogi podcast, and we are going to be getting you guys some new content, not only podcast content but other types of content very soon, so please look out for that. And then you can give me a follow on Instagram at HANAKATTT,
and me at PEJULIFIET.
Yay!
All right.
1, 2, 3. Dude, that was beautiful.
That was like, I got some powerful lung power.
You really do. You have some powerful lung
power.
Okay, bye.
It's power.
It's wonder working power.
Yeah.